Coming up on Vegas Nation Game Day, the Raiders are heading to Detroit and they want to make it scary hours for the Lions. And the NFL trade deadline is coming up. Who could be moved? We'll discuss all that and more right now.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Game Day. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
Welcome to Vegas Nation Game Day. I'm your host, Leandre Fox, and the Raiders are heading back to the Midwest where things got spooky last week with a 30-12 loss to the Bears. This time, the team is in Detroit trying to make Ford Field a house of horrors for the Lions. Now, guess who's back? Jimmy's back. Tell a friend. Jimmy Garoppolo is, quote, hopeful to play on Monday, but will Jimmy G be enough to help the Raiders purge their previous loss? Or will the Silver and Black be child's play for a Lions team coming off a nightmare of their own? In other news, the NFL trade deadline lands on Halloween, and we're going to check in with Vinny Bonsignore on if the Raiders should be going trick-or-treating around the league to make a deal. But before we lose ourselves, let's get down to business with Adam Hill, who has this week's Fast Takes.
Hi, my name is Adam Hill, and it's time for Fast Takes. Look, we've seen the feedback. There is no love for Josh McDaniels right now. The fans are going berserk. But look, it's not 8 miles away from the playoffs. The Raiders are still 3-4. They're right in the mix, but they've got to go to Detroit and get this victory. It's very, very important. If not, they could really find themselves behind the 8 ball, and it's not going to take Superman to find a solution. All they have to do is get Jimmy Garoppolo back on the field, which they're going to do. He's got to play like the quarterback that they signed, and if he can do that, this is a game that they could theoretically win, and all of a sudden they are right back in the mix, and fans can stop freaking out as much as they are right now. But we get it. It's a major, major game for the Raiders. They go on the road to play Detroit. It's going to be wild there. People don't understand maybe how big Halloween is, but how much bigger Halloween Eve is up in Detroit. So it's going to be a ruckus crowd that is not used to primetime games with a good team on the field. It's going to be very, very difficult early in this game. The Raiders have to take the fans out of the game. They cannot allow the frenzy to begin and Aiden Hutchinson to really start bearing down on the Raiders offense. So that's going to be a key. Start early, start fast, get a win, calm things down around this Raiders team.
We're going to go ahead and bring in Vinny Bonsignore now. Hey, Vinny, the Raiders are hopeful to get Jimmy G back against the Lions. He's been out at practice all week, but we never truly know until kickoff, right? But to pivot from that point, the trade deadline nears. It's the day after the Lions game, so Vinny, win or lose, things will have already had to be in motion for the Raiders. Should the team be buyers or sellers on the trade market right now?
What should they do or what will they do? I think they should be sellers, to be perfectly honest with you. I think their highest ceilings, and there's no guarantee that they get here as an 8-win team, a 9-win team. That's the highest. That's if everything works out great, and I don't necessarily see that happening. So what are you really, and what are your future aspirations? And I think all their focus, to be honest with you, should be on the future and not just right now. It's noble that they want to win as many games as possible, but I'm not quite sure what that necessarily accomplishes in the big scheme of things. So I would be sellers, and I would think about everybody aside from Max Crosby on this roster as non-untouchables. But I don't exactly see that happening, and there will be time in the offseason to make some moves if they want to enhance their draft positioning. But if it were me, I'd be selling right now.
D&R House of Diamonds is Las Vegas's elite private office jeweler, the perfect bridge between internet pricing and a traditional brick-and-mortar jewelry store. We specialize in loose diamonds, natural and lab-grown, engagement rings, fashion jewelry, custom design, and jewelry repairs. We operate by appointment in our beautiful offices in the One Summerlin building, downtown Summerlin. Our great relationships with the world's largest diamond wholesalers and our low overhead saves you hundreds, if not thousands, on your purchase.
The Raiders have topped 20 points only once all season and have gone under the total in 5 of their 7 games, but a sharp sports betting syndicate at the Westgate Superbook wagered on their Monday Night Football game at Detroit to go over 45 points. The total is now 46. Detroit is an 8-point favorite after the line dipped from 8.5 when Jimmy Garoppolo returned to practice for the Raiders. Sportsbooks are going to be big Raiders fans come Monday night.
Welcome back to Vegas Nation Game Day. In the Halloween spirit, the Raiders hosted a tent or tree event. 200 children from the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Nevada clubhouses were invited to trick-or-treat at the Raiders headquarters. There was a Raiders pumpkin patch, inflatable obstacle courses, and of course football drills for the kids to enjoy alongside the Raiders and the Raiderettes. And before we go, let's check in on Raider Nation on the socials, starting with some AI imaging. Imagine this as an Allegiant Stadium remodel. It's not as grand as Allegiant Stadium, it's kind of terrifying, but I like it. Some more photoshopping here. Is Caleb Williams trying to be a Raider? I know the USC Raider fans would like to see their guy in silver and black, but I don't know how that works with Jimmy G. Speaking of Garoppolo, does Raider Nation want to tank? Or are they trying to see more O'Connell? This fan is not happy Jimmy G is back in the fold. But Raider Nation doesn't seem to be too happy at all these days. A bag over the head of the Raiders logo, and the hashtag there. Oof. Raider Nation is not pleased with the work of Josh McDaniels to this point. They might be pleased with Sam Gordon's column from earlier this week. We discussed that on Blitz on Wednesday as well. And while the fans may feel that way, here's something that's undeniable. Josh McDaniels is in the Hall of Fame. The Pro Football Hall of Fame adding his visor from the win over the Patriots to commemorate the Raiders' 500th franchise win. Thank you for tuning into Vegas Nation Game Day. Make sure you check out the great work from our entire team at vegasnation.com. And after the game, the crew's going to break down that action on the field. So be sure you check out the Vegas Nation postgame podcast as well. Throw it on in your car on your way to work on Tuesday, and you can catch us again on Wednesday for Vegas Nation Blitz. For the rest of the Vegas Nation team, I'm Leandre Fox. Enjoy Monday Night Football.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Game Day. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.